Mayor.
Point of order.
Campbell.
Schlander, no longer the clerk. We accepted her resignation.
We did not accept the resignation legally. We want to go through that right now.
We don't have to go through anything, it just has to be stated.
She is the current clerk. There was no vote taken legally. I sat with the state police today. They went through the video 20 times with me.
I agree. And you still didn't state that state police stated that she was the clerk.
The state
I also
police,
talked to our legal counsel today, per our resolution about the clerk's resignation, and they informed me to say, point of order, her position, even at the most, is in discussion. At the most is in discussion. She has tendered her resignation. And point, any MCL, or depends which one you look at, says no one can hold anybody hostage at a job after they resign. So,
and it
yes.
had to be accepted legally. There was
Yeah.
it was not accepted by a township board vote by voice or a roll call vote or a show of hands. Those are the only three options.
I accepted her resignation.
You are the only one.
No, I did as well.
Well, I can tell you, me and Charlie never voted.
I believed I accepted the resignation.
We listened to it.
Well, moving forward, go ahead.
Approval of minutes of December 8th, 2025.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes as posted on the website.
I will second.
I want to go into discussion for changes that came from an unauthorized person who changed the minutes from what came into all of our mailboxes. I was not noted of any of those changes that were done. I approved some of the changes that were done. But when it comes down to number 13, clerk resignation, Shano motions to accept resignation from clerk without actually accepting the wording. That is how the motion was stated. Then she adjusted it without the clerk, without anybody, no authorization through any MCL, to change it to assertions. And there is another one where I seen the adjustment was needed for the planning, where there was, Janie had all in favor for Troy Malazek. 2 yeas and 2 noes were needed because she had the motion passed and it failed. And
So you're saying it passed or it failed? Which one?
it failed. It failed. And Janie put that it had passed. And when it comes to roll call vote, DeShano put in there Shano put motion to accept clerk resignation while not accepting assertions and letters submitted. Wayland seconded. After much discussion of the situation, all in favor, yes. There was no all in favor. That is not how the motion was read, and that is how a voice vote would have been. That never happened. A roll call vote never happened. A show of hands never happened.
However, Janie, who is the office help, and at that point, I was the only supervisor of Janie as it was at the beginning of this year. I'm actually her supervisor, and we like to forget that. But Yes, I am, as approved
She
by
was
the
hired.
board.
No, but I mean, when did I forget that?
When you hired her, without me even having any input.
Well,
That's
you
when-
had all the input.
No, I didn't, I was taking tax payments.
Whatever.
However, that said, when she sent me the minutes, which was Wednesday morning, I noticed there was a problem with the planning commission thing. I asked her for the Word document. I listened to an official recording on an official township device, not a private recording, and listened to all of the discussion. And at one point, the question is asked, I believe it went something along the lines of, so we accept the clerk's resignation, yes. And then shortly thereafter, the statement was made, we have accepted the clerk's resignation, can I make a motion? That was actually stated by Mr. Whalen, I believe, because he made the next motion. Then the further motions were made, all were unanimous, including posting a position, setting a deadline for the resumes to be received, as well as a time for the special meeting, which was then held on Wednesday night. All of that was discussed, all of that was unanimously approved by the board members that were present.
That is 100% not accurate.
I disagree. The reality is not mine.
Well, I've watched video and
An actual
with officers.
An actual recording
I
is
have
official?
recording.
An actual official recording?
What's the official recording?
An official recording is either the recording taken here, which is
Is that
not
what
used
you
for those
listened to?
minutes. No, but I did listen to a recording that was made on township property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving forward, Brad, what is your motion?
We actually already have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes as posted on the website, and it has been seconded, so we need a roll call vote.
With the adjustments?
No, that's not what the motion was, and
My
that's what's on the
motion was to
floor.
approve the minutes as they are.
All in favor of accepting the minutes as Ms. DeShano unlawfully changed?
That is an improper roll call.
It's an MCL.
That's an
You don't
improper
have
roll call.
authority, you have to have board authority to change.
Neither does the secretary, but that's what you wanted to accept. Those
No, I
were
didn't want
never
to
given
accept
to
those,
the
I wanted
board.
to change them.
Oh, you had authority to change
Here's what,
it?
No,
here's
I
what
wanna
would have
change it
happened if the
before
minutes
the-
wouldn't have been out, is we would have been picked apart for not having the minutes ready in the 8 days.
Yes, the open meeting
On
act
top of
trumps.
that, you would have stated the Open Meeting Act. We have a fiduciary and a responsibility to the township to make sure that all the knowledge is put out efficiently to everybody. And you've stood on that repeatedly and pumped your fist. The minutes are out. We made a motion. We made a motion to accept. Can you imagine if someone would have
Where
done
did I
this to
get
you?
these minutes?
Would, you don't even have, you told me you don't even have our resolutions. You told me that. Brad, you have access to the same knowledge that everyone here does. You can easily sign up online and get updates every time it's pinged, correct? You're right, you are
That's what
right.
you say.
The information
Should I
has
have
access. I don't know,
Do you,
but that's how I get mine.
you get it through?
Well, actually, I
things?
get it from her website, 99% of it, and then I go fact check. And I do, thank you, because it's a one-stop shop. You rock star. So, moving forward, the motion is to accept the minutes as they are on the website, and right here in front of me, which are the
I
website.
gave
enough.
minutes with the agenda packet. Since you took over the packets, we don't get packets.
I know, you did tell me I do a horrible job, and the
You
agendas
do.
have never been worse, and I'm sorry I can't live up to your expectations. But what I am living up to
It's the law.
is being honest with everybody here. And you're having a hard time doing that. You stood at front of everybody last week and lied to their faces, a full room. And you said, I can't speak to our lawyer per a resolution. And I get home and I open up my email, and lo and behold, at, 5:48, I get a message from the lawyer, Brad Eddy called us today, emergency phone call. So you sat here and lied, and you said
With
to
the
everybody in
clerk
this...
when I got the
You
minutes.
said, everybody here, you said, I don't have that right. I can't call our legal representation. I did not.
But he
I
did.
had to call the
He did.
MTA. And lo and behold, lies. And this is consistent across the board, daily. Just do the truth. And it's a lot easier. You can't lie to everybody and then expect us to support you. You're lying.
Support, Brian.
You lied to everybody here. You did call the lawyer. And you called the lawyer
I'm not
every
gonna
other
do
time. And he doesn't follow township resolutions. He doesn't deem them necessary. But if anybody else steps out of line and changes the minutes or signs a check for payroll, we light them on fire.
Oh my God.
We light them on fire for taking care of our people. Anybody else?
It was unlawful to sign checks, and that's per MTA. 2 lawyers and their staff said that I am not allowed to sign no matter what, even emergency situations.
And our legal counsel advised us different, and I did.
My name is not on any.
I know that, and that's easy for you because you put everybody else's name out there. You lied to the township. Moving forward, will you please, I make a motion to accept the minutes as they are.
On the website.
On the
Right? That's the
website.
motion on the floor. We need a roll call vote. Please just call the roll call.
Roll call vote. Schlander.
No.
Eddie, no. DeShano.
Yes.
Whalen.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Brad Eddy, 1890 South Huron Road. A public statement for the record and statement in support of a Michigan State Police investigation.
Wait a minute. Oh, you can stand up at the mic. So,
Oh, I'm at a mic.
okay. If you're being public comment, you can't be
You
supervisor. Okay. Just so you know. Doesn't stop anybody. But if we're gonna do it right, let's do it right.
That's right.
He sits right there and
Yeah.
never gets up.
Go ahead.
That's right.
All right.
Hypocrites.
Yeah. Hey, I support you, buddy.
Okay, statement affirming lawful continuation of the clerk in office. Statutory violations, hostile work environment, and interference with public records. I'm placing this statement into the public records to clarify the legal status of the township clerk and to document violations of Michigan law that indicate failure to follow required legal process, interference with statutory duties, and creation of hostile work environment. The clerk's resignation was never legally accepted and was lawfully rescinded. On December 8th, the resignation tendered by the township clerk was not legally accepted by the township board. Michigan law requires that a resignation by a township officer be accepted by the township board at a properly noticed meeting by motion, second, and vote of a majority of a quorum. And that vote and result be clearly reflected in the minutes. There's nothing clear. Michigan Open Meetings Act does not require a roll call vote for all decisions. A resignation may be accepted by a voice vote. All in favor say A, opposed say no. A roll call vote, or a show of hands. So long as the action is taken publicly and recorded in the minutes. However, no completed vote accepting the clerk's resignation occurred on December 8, 2025. Because the resignation was never lawfully accepted, it never became effective. Before any lawful acceptance occurred, the clerk rescinded her resignation in writing under Michigan law. A resignation may be withdrawn at any time prior to acceptance. As a result, no vacancy was created. The clerk never relinquished the office. The clerk has lawfully remained in and resumed the full duties of the office. Any claim or action asserting otherwise is legally incorrect. Statutory duty over meeting minutes remains the clerk. Under MCL 4165B and MCL 4165C, the township clerk is statutorily required to record township board meeting proceedings
2 minutes.
and maintain the official journal
Where's
and
your timer
minutes.
today?
I left it at home.
I'm sorry.
These duties belong exclusively to the
Point of
clerk.
order, time has elapsed.
Who changed the times?
It says 2 minutes.
No,
It has
this
been
is-
2 minutes ever
I
since.
think Mr. Whalen changes the agenda every meeting.
Well, yes, it does change every week.
Yes,
The agenda
there used to be
Yeah.
a supervisor
Typically.
report.
This is actually supposed to
The
be. a bill
township
pay.
treasurer has no-
I
Point of
said
order.
point of order. Are we moving on to new business, or is there another?
Public comment.
Jeremy Bloom, 2110 Fraser Road. I'm assuming this report was left off. Statutory authority over meeting minutes remains with the clerk. Under MCL 41.65 subsection B and MCL 41.65 subsection C, the township clerk is statutory required to record township board proceedings and maintain the official journal and minutes. These duties belong exclusively to the clerk and cannot be resigned by resolution, vote, or practice. The township treasurer has no statutory authority over minutes. The treasurer's duties are limited to financial matters under MCL 41.75 and MCL 41.76. Any attempt to prevent the clerk from preparing minutes, substitute another officer, control, alter, delay, or suppress minutes, or treat the clerk as removed or vacant constitutes an interference with a statutory office. Opens Meeting Act implications. Under MCL 15.269, township meetings must accurately reflect motions, votes, and decisions. When a resignation is not lawfully accepted, the minutes must reflect that fact. Mischaracterization, board action, or suggesting a resignation was accepted when it was not undermines public transparency and violates the intents of Open Meetings Act. Hostile work environment and coercion. The circumstances surrounding the attempted resignation and failure to lawfully accept it and subsequent interference with the clerk's duties have created a hostile and intimidating work environment. The environment is evidenced by pressure and confusion surrounding the clerk's status, interference with her statutory authority, attempts to marginalize or override her role, and actions that place the clerk in a position where she cannot perform her legal duties without obstruction. This conduct is not a simple misunderstanding. It reflects a pattern of coercion and statutory interferences directed at an elected office.
Thank you.
Public comment.
Kayla Schneider, 555 Suffolk. I am making this comment to go on record saying that any recordings that I had access to did not reflect a vote. That is why I continued with my fiduciary duties, especially with the election going on this weekend and fulfilling the duties of that. With you accepting those board minutes, I have to go by the board minutes because that nullifies all recordings. So that's where I have to stand. So if that is what the board believes and has voted on, then I have to go by that. Very simple.
Thank you.
Way out of hand, way out of hand. Read your thing there, go through it, and you're done. Why you gotta argue all the time with a bunch of kids? I don't understand. You're grown people, I think, aren't you? I assume.
Thank you, Ken.
Public comment.
I'm disabled, I'm not going to the microphone. If you'd like to hand it down to me, I'd be happy to talk into it. Thank you, Charlie. Steve Gray, 3350 Barnett Lane, Bangor Township. I love the 2-minute rule for your supervisor. That's wonderful. For an entire year, I've watched the treasurer and Trustee Campbell run their mouths for hours in these meetings just to hear themselves talk. And all of a sudden now we're going to tell the supervisor he only gets 2 minutes. Better be a 2-minute rule for everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Number 7, appoint a clerk.
We had 7 applicants, but I've informed one bowed out. So everybody knows this is a temporary appointment. Whoever does get appointment will have to run pre-election, which I recommend everybody that doesn't get appointed, please do participate in the election system. And that will be in 6 months that starts. Right.
August primary,
Yeah.
August primary, November general.
But you have to register with the county in April, I thought.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that is correct.
So anybody
And you can pay $100 and you have to get so many signatures.
Yeah. It's a pretty small amount of signatures.
Yeah. But it's an interesting process. Make a motion to appoint Brian Waldy as clerk.
I was right again. Second time.
Roll call vote. DeShano,
Yes.
you have to abstain from that one. No, Campbell.
Yes.
Whalen.
Yes.
Eddie, absolute no. Okay.